Let's talk about Mexico. So Mexico is extraditing 29 cartel leaders to us. In addition to that, they got cartel leaders that stand in trial here in the United States of America also. Why do y'all think that that happens? Why do y'all think that that's happening here in the United States of America? Why now being one of the biggest participants in what we got going on inside of the United States of America? Why do y'all think that that's happening? I'll tell you exactly why it's happening. Before I do so, check this out.
Happening today, a once powerful Mexican drug lord convicted of torturing and killing a U.S. DEA agent in 1985 is not going to face a judge today.
Yeah, that notorious murderer made headlines globally and even was featured in the Netflix show Narcos. Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman joins us live outside the federal courthouse in downtown Brooklyn with more. Lindsay.
Yeah, Pedro, Shirlene, that once powerful drug lord is expected to be arraigned here in a few hours from now in the very same courthouse, you'll recall, that tried the other infamous cartel leader, El Chapo. Well, this extradition may even be seen as a bigger coup for the U.S. government, given the crimes that were committed. Let's get into it a little bit. Rafael Caro Quintero arrived in New York yesterday after being extradited by Mexico. He was convicted in the 1985 torture and murder of U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration agent Enrique Kiki Camarena, whose story was dramatized on the Netflix show Narcos. Now, Quintero was released from a Mexican prison in 2013, but in 2018 was added to the FBI's most wanted list for being involved with the highly dangerous Sinaloa drug cartel. He was arrested in Mexico again in 2022, but his extradition now comes amidst the Trump administration's push to curb Mexico's cartel activity, and less than a week before the U.S. is set to impose 25% tariffs on the country. Now, 28 others were also
So, did you hear that? They're sending back Mexican drug cartel leaders less than a few days before Trump's 25% tariffs are set to be imposed on the country. So this is the thing that I'm trying to understand. I want y'all to also help me to understand this again. Because remember when Trump was saying that tariffs was coming to the United States or coming to Mexico and going to Canada, and y'all was sitting there saying, oh my God, the cost of avocados is going to go up. Oh my God, we need Mexican tequila. Oh my God, we need Mexican women. We need Mexican tacos. We need all of this type of stuff. I can't believe it. Why do you think that Mexico is now sending over all of the cartel leaders and they're extraditing them here to the United States of America? Oh, you think that it's happenstance? They just woke up. It's like, you know what? After all of these years, before some of y'all was even born, we're going to go ahead and extradite and send these people over to the United States of America in order to be prosecuted. So they just so happen, just happenstance to just want to do it.
To a Fox News alert today, 2 of the 29 cartel members who were just extradited to the U.S. from Mexico, including one accused of killing a DEA agent back in 1985, will appear in a New York court today.
Chanley Painter is here with all the details for us. Chanley?
Hey, good morning. So at least 2 of those defendants will be arraigned today in Brooklyn federal court, according to Reuters, including a drug lord who is alleged to have been among those responsible for the murder of a U.S. DEA agent, Enrique Kiki Camara, in 1985. This comes as Mexico on Thursday handed over 29 high-profile drug cartel members to the United States as part of an unprecedented extradition as the Trump administration ramps up pressure on drug trafficking organizations, illegal immigration, and fentanyl production. According to prosecutors, the prisoners face charges related to drug trafficking and, in some cases, homicide, among other crimes. And among them are members of 5 of the 6 Mexican organized crime groups designated earlier this month as foreign terrorist organizations by the Trump administration, guys.
So keep in mind, we heard from the president yesterday that the tariffs are coming, and we're going to talk about that throughout the morning.
Was I muted? I'm sorry about that. But anyways, you're saying that what I was saying was you're telling me that now just so happen to be that they're running the vacuums out in the hallway. So I had muted for a second. I forgot to unmute. You're telling me that now we just so happen to get all of the organizations and the people that are running the organizations that were designated as terrorist organizations now that Trump was in office. One thing that I always like to come back to is, and I'm going to do this for the entire time that Trump is in office, what did Biden do again while he was in office? We're a little over 38 days. We're not even 40 days into the Trump administration. We're not even 40 days into the Trump administration, and nobody remembers what Biden did during his 4 years in office. He wasn't this visible. He didn't communicate to the people. We didn't see any transformational changes when it came to immigration. We started more wars. A lot of y'all actually was stealing from the federal government, and we propped up the job market acting like we had really higher and a low unemployment rate, when in reality, we was just giving a bunch of people jobs inside of the federal government. We did nothing, especially on immigration, when Biden was in office. More done in 38 days than when Biden was in office for 4 years.
They're going to come down hard on Mexico to the tune of 25%. And when Mexico heard about it, he started negotiating with the president, Sheinbaum, down in Mexico. So what did she do? Just a couple of days before the tariffs are supposed to go into effect, she releases these. We extradite into the United States these 29 jailed cartel members, including somebody who is at the top of the most wanted list for 40 years. She also is pulling out all the stops. They say, this is Mexico's point of view, they've arrested more than 400 people since February, after she announced that they were going to send 10,000 troops to the northern border for them. They've seized 12 tons of narcotics, coke, meth, and 120 pounds of methamphetamines and fentanyl. It's all about trying to keep those tariffs from happening, but they're happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, Donald Trump's going to hold them accountable. He wants this to end. He wants them to protect the borders. He wants them to stop allowing individuals, especially cartel members, people bringing fentanyl over, trafficking children across the border.
But the cartel can't be happy. I mean, Mexico is a narco state. And now because of the president's pressure, their number one enterprise, which is getting the people across the border, people pay tens of thousands of dollars to get across the border. That has been totally disrupted. Now you have the Mexican president turning over the bosses, because just because they're in jail doesn't mean they're not running the criminal enterprise from jail as well. And their tunnels are being sealed with concrete. I mean, it's pretty much all maximum pressure against the cartel branch.
All of that. So we have some of the most advanced technology in the world, and we're just now sealing all of their tunnels that they've been trafficking things over here inside of the United States of America, including people and Fenty. We're just now sealing their tunnels. We're just now sealing all of their tunnels. So we knew that the tunnels existed, but they stopped using the tunnels because it was easier for them to just walk over here across the border into the United States of America. And we're just now sealing all of their tunnels. Okay, I got you.